Are you a successful insurance agent, but you're stressed out now with paperwork and handling client questions, so you don't have time to go out and sell more policies? If so, this video is for you. Imagine if you had somebody else that was able to do all those tasks so that you got your time back and you could spend it with your family, or you could spend it prospecting to bring in more business. In the first part of this series, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about bringing in a virtual assistant who's fully trained, who can handle all of the tasks for you so that you get your time back. Hey there, my name's Tyler, and in this video, we are going to talk about virtual assistants and what they can do for your agency. As you can see, my company is called Agency Aid. Now, I'm also an insurance agency owner myself, started and grew an agency, and basically was able to scale it much faster and much more efficiently using virtual assistants. So now I help other agency owners to do the same thing. We'll get right into it. So basically, what are virtual assistants and what roles can they fill? Essentially, you need to think of this person, your virtual assistant, as a virtual employee. They are an employee of your company. This is a real person. They're just based somewhere not in your office. So we're going to get into a few things. So like I said, it's a virtual employee. Think of this as a CSR, a sales assistant. They can do bookkeeping. They can do any task that you need for your agency. They're just remote. So generally, our team is hiring people from overseas. A lot of times this is the Philippines or Latin America. Philippines is who we like to hire just because they are extremely educated. The education system is strong in the Philippines. In Latin America, a lot of times we're hiring here if we need somebody that has minimal to no accent so they can get on the phone with clients, or so that they can be bilingual or Spanish speaking. So some of these people are trained and specialize in various fields. Think about quoting, focusing on customer service tasks, shopping renewals, reconciling commissions, various tasks that you probably don't enjoy inside of your agency. You can find somebody that is specialized in these tasks, not in your office. So here's some of the benefits of hiring a virtual assistant. You're going to keep your costs lower. So obviously the cost of hiring a virtual employee is going to be less than hiring somebody that has to come into your office. There's also some economies of scale. The dollar goes further in other countries. So by hiring outside of the US, you can get a much better employee for maybe $10 or $11 an hour. You can offer around the clock service this way. So one of the things we see a lot of agencies do is having their VAs working in off hours. So for example, your team works from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. You could potentially have somebody working from 5 until 12. So you can cover all the additional hours that your team's not working to make sure that all the renewals are shopped, make sure all the quotes are finished, so that when your producers come back in the morning, they can hit the ground running and check in with all of your clients immediately. Another benefit is boosting efficiency and improving productivity. So essentially think of it this way. Let's say you've got producers that are dialing out on leads, gathering information, working to get quotes. You can potentially have them gather the information, have a virtual assistant finish the quote, and then deliver the final quotes back to your producer. So all they are doing is spending time on the phone with your clients. Your CSRs, for example, you can have your virtual assistant finalizing renewals so that all the CSR is doing is building relationships with clients to make sure that relationship piece, which is the piece that we only have control over, is taken care of. You can scale your business faster. Everybody talks about the pains with hiring right now. It's difficult to find good talent. If you go through a firm like mine with Agency Aid, we can have you people placed within 48 hours because that's what we do. We can give you more time to strategize. So by hiring people to handle the different pieces of your agency, like hiring CSRs, hiring renewal specialists, whatever it may be, hiring a bookkeeper, you're able to free your time up so that you can think about the agency. You can work on the agency rather than in it, and you can develop strategies on how to grow faster, and then you can work with greater flexibility. So by hiring people that specialize in different pieces, you're going to lower your cost, you're going to improve productivity because they're really good at that one thing they focus on, and you're going to be flexible to do more things, as are your team members. So So again, some of the benefits, cost effectiveness. So you are going to save money on the individual employee, probably about 50% less than what the cost is for somebody stateside. But also, if you're freeing up your team's time, like let's say you've got a producer that spends 20 hours a week running quotes, if you free up that 20 hours, they can go spend 20 hours on revenue driving activity, which just amplifies how much money you're saving and how much money you're creating. Flexibility for your business cycle. So obviously we all have to do similar things. If you're shopping renewals, you know that those renewals are going to come up. And so inside of this cycle, you can have people that just focus on shopping these renewals and create a streamlined process. By understanding the business model that you're in, you can make a much more succinct process to handle everything. Access to global and niche talent. So essentially, kind of like I pointed out, we can find people that specialize and have several years of insurance experience and place them inside of your agency for a fraction of the cost of local employees. You're not going to be able to do this locally because it's just going to be so much more expensive and it's cost prohibitive. Time and revenue are sanity for you. So essentially, when you're freeing up your time, you're not working inside the agency running quotes, you're going to create more revenue, but you're also going to get your sanity back because you're not going to spend 80 hours a week in the office running quotes all night. And then finally, the focus factor. So when you're not in 100 different places, 90 miles an hour, trying to do all of the things, you're able to focus on your agency again, and you're going to drive growth faster. And that is incredibly important. So what are some of the tasks that virtual assistants can actually handle? So we're going to cover the most common ones that we see. First of which is repetitive tasks. So think about shopping renewals, running quotes, mortgagee changes, things like that. They're the same process every single time. So we have checklists and game plans and blueprints on how to do these things, and we do it the same way every single time. We have trainings on how to run a homeowner's quote in Travelers, how to run a car insurance quote in Progressive. We cover all of the most of the national carriers, as well as a lot of regional carriers inside the US. But if you can run a homeowner's quote in one site, if you can run a DP3 in another, you can do it in most of the carriers. And we teach about coverage for our virtual assistants before they place them with your agency. So they're going to understand what's dwelling, what's other structures, what's personal injury and bodily injury, and all the different liability limits. They're going to know what these pieces are so that they can run quotes for your agency. We do mortgagee changes, so they're going to know how to make mortgage changes inside of most of the carriers, all the basic customer service tasks, sending COIs, things like that. So the next piece that you need to look at is what are the tasks you hate doing? So probably customer service tasks, calling in and waiting on hold with carriers. So one of the things you can do is if you have a voice over IP, you can have your virtual assistant call the carrier, wait on hold to ask questions, or potentially live transfer it to you whenever they get a person. So this just continues to free up your time and create that freedom in your mind and get back your sanity. Third, task you're not good at. So for example, if you're somebody that really loves sales like myself, I don't like doing the monotonous tasks on the back end, like finishing quotes. So I've got a virtual assistant that runs quotes in all of our carriers, finalizes it, pulls the clue reports, etc., pulls the final PDFs, puts them all in Agency Zoom for myself and my producers. And then I just go in and look at the final quotes, pick the best one, and present it to the client. So I'm not having to spend an hour shopping this household. I just get to look at the 5 best options and go present it. So it saves me 45 minutes per household so that I can focus on things that I like and that I'm good at. And then finally, tasks that can lower your operational costs. So kind of like the example I just gave, if you're freeing up your producers to make more calls, you're going to increase how efficient your agency runs and increase the profitability drastically. So what are the common misconceptions about virtual assistants? You may have some in your mind, or you may have been told some already. They're not as invested. So this is just not the case. These people are incredibly invested in your agency. They care about their job. We pay significantly higher than local market rates. And so they don't want to lose this job. They are incredibly invested and want to do the best job possible so that they can keep their work long term. It'll take too long to train. Well, my team handles that. We have a training program. We have literally hundreds of training videos, as well as a 2-week fast track program. So it's between 2 to 4 weeks for somebody to finish training with our team. They have to pass all of our quizzes and certifications. They have to do hands-on training with my team running quotes before they ever start working inside of your agency. I lose control, they lose quality. So basically the idea is that you are the person that has to be working on the things in your agency. It's just not true. Frankly, you can train somebody to run quotes just as good as you or handle the customer service tasks. It allows you to do the things that only you can do. The quality is not going to drop off. And especially with, we give them the foundation, we teach them how to do the insurance tasks, and then you can give them a little bit of additional training on how you do your process, and there's going to be no drop off. If they can do things 80% as good as you, but you can focus your time on driving more revenue, you're going to see a net gain long term. My data isn't safe. So this is one that we get a lot. Now, my team has quite a bit of safeguards in place. We've got screen tracking softwares on our virtual assistants. We're tracking what they're doing at all times. We're tracking the things that they're saving on their computer. We have contracts in place. We install cybersecurity software. We've got managers around the clock monitoring our team. So we are making sure that everything possible is being done to make sure that your agency's data is taken care of. Finally, simple stuff only. Again, like I said, these people are incredibly well educated. Most of them have college degrees. Most of them have multiple years of experience inside insurance agencies. So they can do a lot more complex tasks than just your run-of-the-mill managing your social media. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have them doing that. If they finish all the quotes, if they finish all the customer service tasks, there's nothing else to do. If you want to train your virtual assistant how to go make posts on Facebook, that's probably a pretty good idea because nobody else is doing it around the clock. So if you're constantly putting out content, you're going to win long term, but they're not somebody that can only do just that task. They can do a lot more complex things. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I thank you for taking your time to learn a little bit about us and what we do. If you have any questions, if you need any help, you can shoot us an email, info@agencyaid.com. You can give us a phone call. You can go to our website, agency-aid.com, and we look forward to getting to chat with you. All of our contact information is in the description below. I hope you reach out and hope you get to chat soon. Have a great day. Thanks. Thanks for watching. In our next video, we're going to learn where and how to find the perfect virtual assistant. So don't forget to subscribe and follow along.